Probably the most shocking thing was that it was like a graveyard with the walking dead.
They had so many lice on them that we had to do a full body clip to get rid of all the parasites before we could even start treating them.
The scale of it seemed enormous.
I think it opened the eyes of many members of the British public who hadn't seen animal cruelty before.
In 2008, Nick de Brouwer, Redwings head of welfare and behaviour, was asked to assess almost 100 severely neglected horses and donkeys discovered living in horrific conditions in Amersham. The bodies of over 30 horses who had already died laid around them, and Nick knew the rest needed to be removed from the farm to stand a chance of survival. Today, he's catching up with Aladdin, an Amersham survivor who is training to become the schoolmaster at Redwings Rehoming Centre in Norfolk, helping other rescued horses to find loving new homes.
When we got there, we immediately examined all the horses on the farm, and we realised very quickly that a number of the horses were in a suffering state and needed to come away. We also worked out that the other horses that were there were all at risk of suffering if we didn't take them away. And we used the new powers under the Animal Welfare Act to actually remove the horses to protect them from suffering, as well as the ones that were suffering. And once we'd made that decision that all the horses needed to come away, all the other charities and their staff and vehicles came on site, and we started to examine all the horses one by one, and then they were loaded into the vehicles and taken to a place of safety. The new Animal Welfare Act was a really powerful tool to protect the horses that we knew were at risk. So we didn't have to stand by and watch them suffer, but we could actually help them before it was too late.
21 horses and donkeys in the most desperate need were immediately brought back to Redwings Horse Hospital in Norfolk for treatment. Vet Roxanne Curtin was involved in the rescue and then helped care for the new arrivals at the sanctuary.
The ones that we had in, quite a few of them were in really not great condition, really quite poor body condition, underweight. Some of them were suffering with strangles as well, so they were really quite poorly. And some of the weakest ones that were really quite underweight also had really high louse burdens as well, so that wasn't great. Some of the older horses that were involved, I think, had such negative experiences associated with that period of their lives that they'll never really be that keen on people, so they'll always kind of have some specialist handling requirements or behaviour requirements. And absolutely, I mean, for the youngsters, being that malnourished at such an early age does leave a lasting legacy on their development later on.
Roxanne has a particular soft spot for Shetland pony Tinkerbell, who was born at the sanctuary shortly after the rescue.
Tinkerbell had a few health issues when she was first born, which required her to be in the veterinary hospital, and it needed her abdomen to be scanned daily for several days in a row, just to make sure things were going as we'd hoped and that she was getting better and not worse. So in order to be able to do that, the easiest thing to do was, because she was so small, because she's a Shetland foal, was just to lay her down on her knee, and we discovered really quickly that she really liked having her tummy tickled. So we'd lay her down on her knee and tickle her tummy while she was having her abdomen ultrasound scanned. Then that became a bit of a habit, and she really enjoyed having her tummy tickled, so now she tends to lay down on the floor so that people can tickle her tummy.
6 foals, including Tinkerbell, would be born to Redwings to mares rescued from Amersham, each one being pledged a safe forever home at the sanctuary. Over the years, a total of 66 horses and donkeys with a connection to the rescue, many with complex health and behavioural needs, would come to live at Redwings. Despite their terrible ordeal, an incredible 58 are still with us today. Lorry driver Alan Grant is having a reunion with one very special survivor he helped to rescue from Amersham. Esther was just 3 months old at the time of the rescue and was so weak that Alan had to carry her on and off the lorry.
There's several of them that you see every now and again, and it just brings you back a bit, you know, and they all look so well, and there's so many of them still around. It's fantastic, you know, really. We didn't really know what we were in for. It sort of unfolded as the day went on. Just shocking, really. But we've done so many huge rescues since, you know, but still that's the one that sticks in your mind.
The scale of the neglect uncovered at Spindle Farm drew national and international attention, with photographs of Esther being beamed around the world. Over 2,000 new supporters contacted Redwings in the first 3 months after the rescue, offering help, an outpouring of support that Chief Executive Lynn Cuttress said the charity had never experienced before.
The reaction was amazing. We always hear from our own supporters and we appreciate the support they offer. For Amersham, we heard from people we'd never heard from before. We had something called Operation Esther. It wasn't run by us, it was run by a member of the public. They brought a convoy of lorries filled with feed, donated items like tack and rugs, and we had some miniature dog rugs which we used for the Shetlands. They turned up one morning and a group of us got together to unload everything. It was absolutely amazing, and we made sure that the right items went to the right places and everyone was able to help.
Within weeks, the public had generously donated thousands of pounds to help fund the initial care of the Amersham survivors.
We've obviously spent it on vet care and making sure that all the horses and donkeys continue to be cared for at Redwings. They now live at different sites across the country, and ultimately every single one of them needs to be looked after in terms of their feed, their worming, vaccinations, and the most important thing is they have a safe forever home for us for life, thanks to our supporters.
In 2011, Redwings rehomed its first horse from Amersham as part of its guardianship scheme. Now 12 live in loving homes outside of the sanctuary, including fjord pony Ellie, who enjoys a happy life with her guardian Hannah Dobler. The pair love taking part in cross-country and dressage competitions, as well as hacks along the beach.
She pictures of her when she was rescued, and I was like, she don't look nothing like that no more. And I thought it would mentally damage her or something, and it hasn't, because she's kind of something.
Thinking about the kind of ponies that they were when they first came in, and the deal that they'd been through as well was just horrific, and knowing now that they have had an amazing 10 years at Redwings where they've had nothing but love and care and attention, and that'll continue until the day that they die, is a really good feeling, yeah, and it makes all the hard work of the rescue and the rehabilitation process work well.
I was really proud of the team before then, and from that day I continued to be even more proud. Our staff never ceased to amaze me with the amount of effort they put in every single day, but I think they deserve extra special praise and thanks for something like Amersham. It was a very intense operation that remained intense for a number of considerable months, and there was all the anguish of the trial. We had so many animals here and the staff didn't know what they would do if they had to be returned, so I give them tremendous thanks from myself and the trustees.